And I hope to be less than 2 minutes to give the same to the Minister for response. And Minister, I understand that your department and your officials are extremely busy dealing with some of the outworkings of the coronavirus, but I wanted to use this opportunity, which is the first opportunity of this new Dáil, to put questions to Justice Minister to raise the case of Shane O'Farrell. He was a young man from my own hometown. I didn't know Shane very well, but I've got to many of the...
It's a hugely important it's not relevant.
I can call. I've already spoken to the Minister and told him that I would be raising this
It's not relevant. Excuse me. We're having a debate here on the COVID issues. The Shane O'Farrell issue is hugely important and deserves attention, but I'm afraid it's not in the context of a debate on COVID. That we can get into that.
The title of the debate is Questions to the Minister for Justice, and these are questions to the Minister for Justice, and I'm sure, and if you were to go through the transcripts of every debate that we've had over the course of these past number of weeks, you will see on numerous occasions, instances where deputies would have strayed.
I'm here a little bit longer than you are, and I know how we conduct our debates.
Yes,
now, if you want to go ahead, go ahead. But it is not kosher, and I think, with respect to Shane O'Farrell, he deserves more consideration than can be given in the 2 minutes that's available.
Well, again, with due respect, Can Corla, and I take your point on board. I've spoken to Shane's mother today. I've spoken to her on several occasions, and one of the commitments I made was that at the very first opportunity that I had to put questions to a Minister for Justice, regardless of who it would be, that the question of Shane O'Farrell, who was, as many people here, I understand, know all too well, killed in 2011. He was just 23 years of age. He was killed by a man who was a known criminal, who had breached several bail conditions at the time and who had 42 previous convictions across 3 different states. And since his death, again, many members of this House will know his family have sought for justice, and through their efforts, whole-scale failures regarding the handling of this case by numerous statutory agencies, including An Gardaí, the prosecution team, the DPP, the court services, have been exposed by his families. And the questions that have been raised have so numerous and of such significance that many people, including myself, believe that they can only be properly dealt with through a public inquiry that deals with all of this. That public inquiry, as you know, Minister, has yet to be delivered, and there is currently a scoping inquiry being undertaken by the respected former Judge Gerard Houghton. So today, Minister, I would like to ask if you could give an indication as to when you expect that exercise to be completed, and to give your views as to whether or not you see and foresee a public inquiry taking place afterwards. And on a specific issue, I'd like to ask the Minister if he could comment in respect of an apparent failure of his department to heed the request by the Attorney-General as Senior Counsel and the then Minister for Justice in 2008 to publish a report that was compiled by the court service to his department. The family had to fight for over 2 years. They only received that in February of this year, despite the fact that they even went through FOI procedures and all the rest. And if the Minister can understand that it's things like that that create the view within people in my town that there is resistance within your department to the type of public inquiry that I have mentioned, I think is warranted. So I would ask, with your indulgence, Can Corla, for a short response if possible.